You're creating and posting content consistently, but are you actually creating the kind of content that markets your business and makes sales easier? In this video, I'm going to give you 7 elements that your content needs to have in order to effectively market your business and make your sales effortless. Seth Godin, the author of a book called This is Marketing, with the subtitle, You Can't Be Seen Until You Learn to See. He describes marketing as this: marketing is the act of making change happen. It is the story you tell, who you tell it to, and why they care. You are a business owner. You are solving a problem for people. That means you have to be able to make content that moves them. So here are these 7 elements. But I first want to remind you that content is an ecosystem. Everything works together, just like the ecosystem in nature. Bees interacting with the flowers, bees making the honey, we as humans consuming that honey. It's the same way with your content. Each piece of content is interacting with each other. And then your audience, as the consumer of that content, it activates them to want to make a purchase. But most importantly, make a purchase from you. This means that there is no pressure to make one piece of content have to bring in all of the sales because every single piece of content is working together. So all of these elements are going to be roped in to each piece of content some way or somehow. So let's dive in. Element number 1 is diagnose the real problem. There's always going to be 2 points of view when you're creating your content. There's the point of view of your audience and the point of view of you as the expert. Let's use weight loss, for example. People who want to lose weight might think that they need to do more cardio in order to lose weight. But you, as the expert, you know that they actually need to do more strength training. So the real problem is the fact that they need to do strength training, not that they need to do more cardio. They think they know what their problem is that is preventing them from achieving their result. So it's essential that your content diagnoses the actual problem so that your audience starts to take on a different perspective on how that problem can be solved. Number 2 is you want to disrupt their old thinking. Because if we're using the exact same example, because they believe that they need more cardio and you know that they need strength training, that is disrupting their thinking, which now means you have to have supporting evidence as to why this is true, why your point of view is true. But you want to make sure that you're also addressing that you understand that you know what they believe their problem is, and you disrupt that thinking by letting them know what their actual problem is. Then number 3 is you want to deliver a new possibility. This is where you paint a picture for what is possible for them once they disrupt that thinking, once they really start to change their belief around what they really need to do. So when you deliver that new possibility, you're showing them that there's a different way to solve the problem. Because we know what it's like when we have a one-track mind where we think this is what we need to do. So we have to be able to not only disrupt that thinking, but deliver what is possible when you actually go the route that you, the expert, is guiding people towards. And then number 4 is you want to design a bridge. A bridge is over here where your audience is, and then the other half of the bridge is over here where you want them to go, which is where they want to go. It's their end destination. If we're using the weight loss example, it's their weight loss. And so across this bridge is actually where you put your supporting evidence. You're building the case for why it is increasing your muscle mass and lifting weights that's actually going to help you get to your result, your end destination, so much faster. And so this bridge is how you're going to walk your audience across to their new possibility. And then that brings me to number 5, which is distill the message to their awareness. Remember, you have a point of view, and so do they. That means that you tend to have very expert language. You understand it way more than they do. And it's easy for you to now talk in a way that is an expert talk, as if you're talking to a colleague instead of a customer. So make sure that you distill that message into language that your audience understands. No, they're not dumb. They're very smart people, but it doesn't mean that they want to take the time to dissect all of the lingo of your industry jargon. They want to just see that you can help them and feel resonance with what you're saying, know that what you're telling them is relevant, and go, bingo, that's my person. So make sure that you distill it down to their awareness. And that is how you build the evidence to get to the other side of the bridge. And then that brings me to number 6, which is you want to draw out a new identity. You want to paint a picture of who they're going to be on the other side of the bridge. Who are they going to be? Are they going to have more confidence? Are they going to be able to walk into the gym and know exactly what they're doing? And then what are they going to be able to have? They're not only going to be able to have a better body, a body that they love and a body that they're happy with, but they're going to have a confidence level within them that they didn't have before. So not only confidence in the gym, but a confidence in who they are when they walk into a room. And then what are they going to be able to do that is different with your pathway, with your perspective of being able to help them? If it's this weight loss example, maybe now they don't need to spend an hour or 2 hours in the gym doing cardio. It's like you can be in and out in 30 minutes or less and still hit your weight and still hit your goal. So now you're describing to them what this new identity can look like, feel like, and be like for them. And you want to paint a picture so that they can actually see it, so that their body can have a visceral experience with the words when they watch you on video or read one of your posts. And then number 7 is you want to direct their next decision. Sometimes when we have a piece of content, we don't always need to add a CTA at the end. A CTA stands for call to action. We don't always need to promote an offer or promote a program. Sometimes it's just drop an aha in the comments and let me know your biggest takeaway. Sometimes it's let me know how this really resonated or what spoke to you in this message. Maybe it's share this message so that someone else can also benefit. And other times, yes, you're going to have an offer that you are promoting during that time. But here's the beauty. When you actually have these 7 elements in your content, you hardly ever, if ever, have to say, buy my thing. Because people are building up so much resonance with you, and what you're speaking to them about is relevant to them. They're like, what does this person have for me to buy? Because they're already bought in to the way that you teach, the way that you are helping them get a result, because you are demonstrating your expertise while demonstrating that you see them, hear them, and understand them. And you understand where it is they're trying to go, but you also understand their starting point. So this is the big story that you are telling. It is not just buy my thing and here's what my offer is going to do for you. It is making sure that you paint the picture around your ability to understand where they are, not just physically and tangibly, but emotionally as well. Because we have to remember that buying is an emotional decision. We justify logically after we've made this emotional decision to make a purchase, and then we justify logically. But people buy because they feel like buying. There's already this innate desire to buy. And when you have these 7 elements roped through your content, you're giving your audience a mini breakthrough every single time. And now they're like, ooh, breakthrough, breakthrough, breakthrough. They feel excited to read or watch you because they're feeling motivated. They're feeling like, oh my gosh, this person gets me. I can finally get my result. I can finally get my answer. And I like this person's process. I like the way that this person delivers it. Because most people think that they've tried it all and that there's no help for them. But the truth of the matter is they just haven't heard from you. And it's so essential that you have these elements because it's going to speak so clearly and directly to your people. And these mini breakthroughs is what activates your audience's natural desire to already want to buy. And when you're the person that can activate that based off of these 7 elements, now they have no choice but to buy from you. If you yet have not grabbed the 7 content traps that are blocking your sales, make sure you do that. It is a free masterclass I've put together for you. I will drop a link in the description box. Add these 7 elements into your content, grab that free masterclass, share this with a business bestie, and I will see you all in another video. Bye.